Welcome back to another episode of Gossip Break, the cherry on top of your day. I'm one of your hosts, Bree. I'm not your host, Bree.
I'm your other host, Becky.
I don't know, guys. What's that? Like, I don't have I ever done that?
No,
Why did I just say I'm Bree?
for
This
the
is
new people that are confused,
yeah, this is Gossip Break, and I'm Becky.
I'm Bree, but we are the same.
Yeah, we're one and the same. We're so synced that I was like, I'm literally Bree.
I'm reading Wuthering Heights right now for book club, and I just got to the part where she says, "Whatever his souls are made of, his and mine are the same." That's us.
Oh, that's what that came from?
Yeah, which I'm kind of like, oh, wait, they're so toxic. And I thought this was like the most beautiful quote ever.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was so Tumblr. And oh my God,
So Tumblr.
dang, from the same thing.
No, I literally used it as my caption for my wedding pictures. And now that I'm reading Wuthering Heights, I'm like, wait, do I need to edit?
That's funny. Welcome
Hi,
back,
girls.
y'all. Sorry for the little hiccup at the beginning. I'm not sure. My mind's in a lot of places. We have so many things to talk about. We're being fed in this new year with good pop culture. Thank God. Shout out awards season.
Yes, thank goodness for that. I know there's a lot of craziness going on in the world right now, so we appreciate you guys for hopping in to listen and just hopefully this will be your reprieve for an hour to just kiki with us and talk about fun stuff and not worry about the things going on in the world right now, which I know is obviously easier said than done, but
Yeah.
this is what we're here for, to just make you guys laugh and
Yeah.
just to enjoy. So hopefully you'll have fun with us this hour.
Yes, gossip break heavy on the break. This so I hope it's not as cold. I was gonna say I hope it's not as cold as it is in Florida, but it like is act we're actually the hottest.
I
And
know.
it's
I
pretty
feel
cold.
so bad thinking about my Chicago friends because, I mean, for us though, it is cold.
It
30s in
is.
Florida, that is cold. But then I know like they would dream of having 40 or 30s right now. So let me just
Yeah.
shut my mouth.
It
But yeah,
was
hopefully you guys are staying warm and
snowing.
cozy.
It was snowing in Dallas this week, like real snow, not the little ice where it hits the ground and oh, like
Flurries.
whatever. No, it was like snow falling from the sky. People are building snowmen. I'm like, dang, I got out of Dodge at the perfect time because I would not have made it. Living by yourself, stuck in a snowstorm, like seriously, I need a wellness check.
No, literally. The best thing I ever did in Chicago was have a garage for my car because I'm not shoveling snow. Like, who do you think I am?
Yeah, that's ins I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, garage was the cheat code to living in the winter up there.
No, shout out to the Chicagoans for real because
Keeping you guys in our prayers.
yeah. Oh, and the Colorado girlies, which is so funny to me because Colorado has been loving us lately.
Oh, okay.
Our
Hi,
downloads.
Colorado girls.
Yeah, it's our number one state this month. So shout out to my Boulder babes. We will be talking about you later on in this episode. Don't you worry. But prayers for y'all too. I just had to shout out Colorado.
My
Um,
mom went to school there, to the University of
really?
Boulder. Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. The one who has what? I'm
Dion?
yes.
Yeah, sports podcast, by
Yeah,
the way.
no, literally. I
I
can't even
think
come up with
that's
the names.
I think that's Boulder.
Yeah. Mom, if
Yeah, it
you're
has
listening
to
to this,
be.
she's probably like yelling at the at her phone
Yeah,
right
I
now.
did
Hi,
not
mommy.
know your mom went there. That is actually so cool. That's so amazing. I would like, oh my gosh. Like if Dion was for my team, I'd be like everybody would know.
Yeah, all of a sudden she's like the biggest fan again.
Yeah, that's so cool.
But okay, so yeah, hi to the Chicago, or not Chicago, hi to the, well, you guys too. Hi to the Colorado girls. But yeah, let's get into this because our stories are really good and I'm excited.
Yes.
First and foremost, give us a cute little 5-star review and follow us on social media. That's all.
That's literally it. Follow us on TikTok, even though we all are probably griping with TikTok right now. TikTok's been on some funny business lately, and I'm not enjoying it. So please make sure you're following us on Instagram, on Threads. Reels are that girl right now. So we would love for you to take part in it and build our little community. And Yeah, that's it. Let's get into these Oscar nominees and drama, of course.
Wait, can I just say something really, really quick about TikTok? Because
Of
I
course.
just, being a social media manager, I follow all these people who have to talk about the platforms and stuff. And this guy posted today that TikTok's uninstalls have spiked to 150%. That's
Mm,
crazy. So, yeah, follow us on Instagram and
yeah.
engage with our reels because that's where we'll be lately.
Wow. That's actually really crazy to think about. Because they
Yeah.
just sold it like 2 weeks ago, and everyone's like, don't like it. Because they're doing something with the algorithm. Like, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but they're like so clearly like trying to change the app in some way, whether it's nefarious or not. And it like glitched the system.
I feel like it was subconscious, but I have noticed I was like, TikTok is not hitting. I haven't really been on the app in like probably 2 weeks. And now I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's not going great over there, but like I said, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Threads. We will be there. One thing about Instagram is she's really only been down once.
people love to talk shit about Instagram, but she will always be that girl and she will always
Yeah.
be there for us. So,
Sorry. She like there are no glitches. It takes like, oh, you're a social media app with something cool. I'm gonna take it and make it better.
yeah, so we'll be on Instagram.
Mhm.
But okay, yeah, now we can get into these stories.
Yes, the Oscars, the 98th Academy Awards, which will be on Sunday, March 15th. So mark your calendars. And the nominations sparked a lot of news for a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. So let's get into the nominees and then we can get into the drama.
Okay, perfect.
So I think NPR put this perfectly. I'm just gonna read this out loud. Nominations for the 2026 Oscars are out, with Sinners leading the pack with a record 60 nominations for an individual movie. Star Michael B. Jordan, who played twins Smoke and Stack in the horror film set in the 1930s in Mississippi, was nominated for his first time, which is crazy. I had no idea that my man had never been nominated before. This film also garnered nods for Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, Best Directing, and more. First-time nominees this year also include Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo and Wunmi Masaku for Sinners, Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another, and much of the cast of the Norwegian drama Sentimental Value.
Yeah, and then One Battle After Another follows Sinners with 13 nominations. And then Timothy Chalamet, this is his second year in a row nominated for Best Actor. This is crazy with Sinners. I mean, we've been saying like movie of the year. So I'm really excited to see
Mhm.
who wins, what wins. I'm also really, really excited that I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, but Wunmi Mosaku, the one who played Annie in Sinners, we were just saying that she deserves supporting actress. So
Mhm.
I'm really excited that she got nominated too, because I was actually just watching the clip of when Preacher Boy starts singing and it's all the different cultures and different times start coming
Yes.
in. And the way that she narrated that part, like it gives me chills.
I just got chills thinking about it.
It's so good. That's like literally what you go to the movies to see, like that scene right there. So I'm really excited to see what they walk away with.
Yeah, they're leaving with something. Like, all I know is it better get Best Director because
Yes.
out of all of the directors they listed and all of the directors of any movie that is nominated, like including Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, you have no idea who those directors are. You could not tell. The average person who's either like a movie person or not a movie person, just like casually watches film and media and stuff, could not tell you who those directors are. The people know that Ryan Coogler was behind Sinners because he worked his bootay off. And just for that alone, give him the award. Give Michael the award. Give Best Supporting Actress the award. Moomney. Give Delroy the award. I can't believe this is his first time being nominated. He's like 75 years old. It's a damn shame it took this long, but they all I know is it better be a sweep or I'm gonna get a little radical.
No, literally, I had a housewarming party this week for some of my family, and I'm like arguing for Sinners about why it should be the best movie. They're like, it was good, but 16 nominated. I was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. Don't get me started. Like, I literally got activated with family this weekend. Um,
Because
but
who
I
else would it be?
no, literally, that's what I told her. I was like, okay, so what other movie should be nominated this much? Silence. Okay, I digress. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Right.
We should also talk about some
Uh,
movies that got snubbed, some people who got snubbed. This article, this headline this week kind of threw me. We have to talk about it. So,
yes.
New York Post is so shady. It says snubbed for good.
Bye.
An anonymous Oscar voter explained the reason behind Wicked for Good and its lead stars Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo scoring zero Oscar 2026 nominations. They said the movie wasn't that great. The two have amazing on screen chemistry, but spent most of the movie apart. I was also just completely turned off by their promotional performances. They creeped a lot of people out, and in their rush to feel authentic, came off as cosplaying. Another voter claimed that the two actresses, in quotes, sucked the air out of any red carpet they were on, and no one wanted to go through that again. The Wicked sequel didn't win over the Academy. Erivo and Grande were both left out of the Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress categories, respectively, after their joint nominations last year. So the first Wicked film scored 10 nominations in 2025, and they won Best Costume Design and Best Production Design. But this year, they were snubbed. So what do you think about the Oscar voters saying that it creeps them out, though? Oh, and then also it says that their significant weight loss also became a topic of conversation on the internet.
Yeah, I think I
Uh,
talked about that like last week. I think it was last week or the week before,
mhm.
about the weight loss thing, which here's the thing. I have a few ideas. One, it's really hard to make a sequel slash a two-parter, especially a year apart, especially when you do all this hoopla for it. Because it's like now at this point, it's been 2 years of them crying
Yeah.
on stage and us looking at like no shade, their clavicles. Like they are spooky thin. I don't like to comment on people's bodies and how they look, but the fact that this could have been a reason why they didn't get the Oscar nomination is really sad, I think, because clearly they felt the pressure of
Yeah.
how big this movie is. Again, it's a two-parter, a year apart. They've been doing promoting it for years, and I am really surprised that they haven't neither one of them won an Oscar for their acting, considering they didn't win last year and they didn't get nominated this year. I do think that's a little crazy, but because it was kind of wicked Oscars last year, it's kind of like no one wants to see that again.
Yeah, I think people are a little bit tired of it. And to be honest, I've been afraid to say this because I know the Wicked people are like, "Rah!" Like they're so
Yeah.
scary. Um, and again, you guys can disagree with me. This is my opinion. Um, I don't think Cynthia deserved an Oscar for this one. I thought the movie was great. I don't think it was as bad as they're making it seem,
Yeah.
but she was just very, in my opinion, very blah on screen this time. And I was like a little bit almost taken out of it. Like I thought there would be like, I don't know, just more passion as Elphaba. Whereas Ariana, not saying she deserves an Oscar, but she really, really sold it as Glinda to me. She just had so much more expression this film. And she did get nominated for like the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globe. So I was kind of expecting at
Hmm.
least her to get it. But the fact that she didn't get nominated either, and now we're hearing it could be, I mean, this is just one to two Oscar voters that said this,
Right.
but I'm assuming that they're probably speaking for a majority of the people if they didn't get nominated at all. I don't think it's really fair to count them out because of the craziness promotional stuff that they're doing.
Hmm.
But I also have to be unbiased in my opinion that I don't know if they did deserve the big one, the Oscar, you know?
Yeah.
For the reasons that they said, I think it's unfair. But if we're just talking about just the film itself and the acting compared to all the other films that we have out this year, I understand it.
Yeah, I think it's tricky because I have seen a lot of comments where it's like, why is there promotion and stuff being included and like evaluated as if it should be nominated or not? But
Yeah.
I think when it comes to like these big, big awards like Oscars, Grammys, Emmys, it's not just the film. It's like these awards aren't just awards for that movie. It's the whole cultural, like, did it have a cultural reset?
Yeah, that's true. Because
And
it is
I
the
don't,
Oscars, the big one.
yeah, the big ones at least. And I don't think that the second one made a cultural reset, obvious, because we're always going to compare it to the first. The first one, from the promo to the film, was insane in a good way. It was incredible. We've never seen anything like it. We laughed, we cried. And so to try to replicate it, it kind of is like, okay, it was so good the first time. Like, I just don't know why they had to split it like that. I mean, granted, I haven't seen the second movie. I've seen it on Broadway several times. I haven't heard anything but wonderful things about the second film, and I don't doubt that for a second. But I just think the fact that it was a two-parter
Yeah.
really hurt. I think that hurt them more than anything because everything they said was valid. Like the promo was getting weird, but it's like we wouldn't say that if we had just seen if it was one and done.
Yeah, that's true. There was one line that they said that did kind of stick out to me as like them proving to be so authentic made it look like cosplaying. And I was like,
Right.
that's exactly how it felt actually, is they were trying to be like, oh, this is just us and we have this great relationship and we're so close and we have to hold each other all the time because this movie was so emotional. And it's like, I get it, but it really does start to feel like I was, and this is not just me, plenty of people were saying this. Like Ariana was literally acting like she was still Glinda. And it just gets to a point that it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit unsettling. And that's always kind of been my
Yep.
problem with Ariana. Like, I
Speak
love
on it.
her. I'm an Ariana girl. I've been to her concerts. I listen to her music down, but she has always had this problem of she gets into an era and she fully becomes that era to the point where it feels like it's cosplaying, like it's not her anymore. And it's a little weird.
I think there's a fine line of that where it's like, okay, you play such an iconic character. Like, let's say Kerry Washington, for example. Kerry Washington is Olivia Pope,
Yeah.
period. Tony Goldwyn is President Fitzgerald Grant III. However, anytime they're in something else, it's their version of that, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like there's a piece of them still in it, while not the other way around. Whereas like Ariana has changed so much, and Taylor Swift kind of does this too.
But she doesn't change her voice.
Right. Like the eras that
Yeah.
Ariana has gone through, she loses like a piece of herself, and each one and just becomes Glinda. She just becomes Blackiana. She just becomes these different versions rather than like bringing herself to it and making it her own.
Remember when she started dating Big Sean and then all of a sudden she had like Future and Lil Wayne on songs and I was like, "What?"
No,
And then she went
what's
to her like her sweetener era and like the outro song being Pete Davidson, like her whole like identity was just dating Pete Davidson. And then it was the whole Seven Rings era and then like Glinda entirely becoming Glinda.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I love all the eras, but you're right.
I
She does lose a piece of herself every time.
yeah,
Yeah, it's unsettling.
it's very Kourtney Kardashian, and that's not a compliment.
Her, yeah. Her best ever look, time, theme era, in my opinion, was when she was a judge on The Voice.
And see, I forgot about that. Like I forgot that she's done all these things because she just is so like, and maybe it's because she's just such an artist. She has so much trauma. I do give her a lot of grace because Diva's been through a lot.
A
So
lot.
that we've seen. So imagine the stuff we haven't seen. And
Yeah.
it's just like I forget these eras. I forget that she dated Big Sean. I forget that she was a judge on The Voice and Sweetener and Positions. Like I forget that she had these eras. And I'm like, I wish she would show up as a culmination of like all of them. Like
Yeah.
kind of like how Beyonce does. Like Beyonce, especially now, has very strict like airtight eras. Cowboy Carter, she was only showing up in cowboy boots, but she was showing up as Beyonce as a cowgirl,
Yeah.
if that
And I
makes
do have to
sense.
say, I think Taylor kind of does that well because she does
Mm-hmm.
have her different eras, but I never feel like she loses herself to the era. Like it's
Right.
still Taylor just in this new era.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Ariana has something to learn from those girls because those are the top girls. So they
Yeah,
clearly know what they're doing.
they're the top divas, and as polarizing as they are pretty, they have excellent PR. Whereas like Ariana, like her PR is kind of
Yeah. But she also, I mean, not to say that Beyonce doesn't do these things because I feel like we just literally don't know anything about her personal life, but
hmm
Ariana has also done things that makes it hard for people to gather
that's
around her. Like the whole Ethan Slater, Lily James, I think that was her name, that whole ordeal. It's honestly still a little bit hard for me to get past that because
yeah,
yes, I know it was just as much Ethan's fault as hers, but that was just so diabolical. It gets
yeah,
to a point where it's like this is
yeah,
not like cutesy cheating. Not that cheating is ever cutesy, but like you have a
yeah.
whole other woman involved who moved out to England to be on this film set with her husband and is now alone 2 months postpartum. And then you release a song called Yes and The Boy Is Mine, which those are bops, but like, come
R-
on.
Right. No, and I do, and I think the committee, I think they considered that.
Probably. Which also I just saw, like right before we recorded, is the BAFTAs, which is like the British awards.
Hmm
They didn't even nominate Cynthia Erivo, which I feel like that's literally her people. So I would think if
Yikes.
anybody, if she were to get nominated for anything, it would be a BAFTA, but not even over there. They just nominated Wicked for best costume design, I think, and production
hmm
design again, which those do
Yeah,
deserve. Like Glinda's dresses
absolutely.
were beautiful, and Ethan Slater transforming into the Tin Man, like that was those costumes alone or this what is it like the straw man or whatever he's
Yeah,
called.
the scarecrow.
Yeah, the scarecrow, the costume design I feel like definitely deserves to win, but the girlies,
Yeah, I think people are just like tired. We just need a little breaky, and that's okay.
yeah.
We need like give us some time to breathe and miss you. Like they said, they sucked the air out of every red carpet that they
That
were
was
on.
crazy.
Like that, and that I was like, damn, perfectly put, because that's what it is. It's just like, oh my gosh, and we have to do this again.
Yeah. They needed a break. I think it was just sad to see the reason come out. I'm surprised they said it.
I know.
They could have just like not nominated them. So I do feel a little bad, but maybe this will give them time to reflect.
Yeah, like let's reflect. I don't want anybody reading a script. Just take the year off, get healthy, whatever that means to you, and just like don't. The Oscars is going to be interesting to watch because everyone, like when they're together, they're going to be like, are they going to change? Like, are they not going to be all lovey-dovey? My sister thought they were dating. My sister was like, I thought they were together. I'm like, Cynthia's married to another
I'm sure
woman.
her wife hates Ariana.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on?
No, literally, what the hell is going on?
So
Oh,
yeah,
those
Sinners
divas.
Oscars. Like I'm not playing. I did watch One Battle After Another again with my parents. And like I love it. I know people are like it's black trauma porn. And like I can see how you got there and like I'm like it does some things I'm like okay, like we just didn't need that line. Like the line that I sent you from Sean Penn where he's like, I fucking love black girls. Like we just like we didn't need some of it. I do agree. However, you've never seen a movie like that before, and the plot and the social commentary was there, and it was also funny but serious but action, and Tony Goldwyn is in it. Like you didn't even know that until you watched it. Fabulous film. I love whatever era Tiana Taylor is in. I don't know what happened in her relationship, but I all I know is since she's been out of it, she's been booked and busy, and I love that for
Yeah.
her, and she's talented. And I do want to see her walk away with something. So that's all I have to say about One Battle After Another. I do suggest that you watch it, and I do take people's criticisms. Like I do agree. I'm like, okay, like we just didn't have to say that. Like you can definitely tell this is like a white man's fantasy, but it was still good. The acting still like Leonardo, are you kidding me? The
I mean, if
star.
it gets you to feel something, I feel like that's a good movie.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like the social commentary was outstanding. I was like, oh, this is he gets it, but like there's some parts where I'm like, oh, he's fucking weird. So,
Real.
yeah. Okay.
Should we move on to these next divas?
Yikes.
I am so excited for this. Netflix is coming out with America's Next Top Model docuseries, and I believe it comes out February 16th.
Hmm.
Yeah, so they are having a documentary on America's Next Top Model, and they are having Tyra herself along with Miss J. Alexander and Jay Manuel. If you know, you know. Those were the three girls, and Nigel. I'm pretty sure he was on there as well.
Yeah.
He could be the girl too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you just had to be there during this time of America's Next Top Model and just the crazy shit they put these girls through. And it really was the time period because they put them through the craziest things that back then was just like, we just weren't as woke. We were just like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like changing the girls' ethnicities. That's crazy.
Crazy. That was absurd, Tyra. And I've seen a lot of people, like, people have had a lot of smoke for Miss Tyra Banks because of this show and because of how, honestly, trigger warning on this episode at this point, I didn't even realize we were gonna, like, go down this ED skinny era, these topics, but a lot of people had a lot of backlash for Tyra because she was very much like your size 4 too big, size 2 lose 10 pounds, da 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 da. And not to play, like, I'm actually not playing devil's advocate at all. The devil doesn't need an advocate, but it really was the times. It wasn't like
Yeah.
Tyra was the reason everyone wanted to get skinny. Like, Tyra grew up in the modeling era. She was one of the world's first superstars, and she grew up in that environment of you need to be skinny. The show started in 2003.
Yeah, it
Of
was
course,
just the times.
it
Yes.
really was
You
the
can't blame
times.
it all on Tyra.
You can't blame it all on Tyra when it comes to that. Well, honestly, for a lot of the shenanigans that happened on the show, including the race trading, like that was crazy. That could never happen now. But I have seen an interview with Tyra where she was like, I think ANTM did more for television and reality TV than it did modeling. Because like a lot of them didn't become models after
Mhm.
this. But for TV, it is one of the most iconic reality TV shows ever, especially for how long it lasted and its impact and introduced fashion to the girlies. I learned about Twiggy, Andre Leon Talley, rest in peace,
Yes.
Janice Dixon, Paulina. Like the girls were, she was teaching us.
She was teaching us like go see outfits. That is my go-to outfit when I'm going out. Wear a go see like a black tank top, jeans, and heels, and I will
Yeah.
look good every time.
No,
Like
it's
they knew what they were
iconic.
doing with some things.
Yeah, they were giving us entertainment and iconic. So I do give her a little bit of grace because I feel like people are like, Tyra Banks ruined my life. And it's like, okay, but if you were a model, they actually, like, during that time, it would have been 10 times worse.
It would, if you were a model in that time, anybody would have ruined your life in the model
Yes.
industry at that
Yes.
time. So I think it's just, which some, this article did make a note of it that said, let's be real, Netflix is where celebrities go for fan service documentaries that make them look flawed, but ultimately good. So it says, see the Eddie Murphy documentary, the Beckham's documentary. I mean, the fact that they're all going to be on the documentary, it's not like, oh, we're making this documentary about them and we're talking about
Yeah.
them. I feel like that would look worse. So the fact that they're in it, and even Jay Manuel was like, he was like the part of the trading ethnicities, like the face he made in that trailer. We all know it's not great, but I think them willing to be a part of it is going to make them look a little bit better because
Yeah.
they're taking some accountability for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I used to eat that shit up, ANTM, but it really did like create just a sphere of not healthy, not just being not healthy,
Yeah.
like whether it's mindset, physically. Like I remember me and my friends literally used to would like get into it watching ANTM because one of the girls was the taller of us and she would be like, well, I can actually walk runway models in the future because I'm 5'7". And I'd be like, well, at least I could do commercial because I got a cute face. Like
Yeah. No, it
just
was
evil.
It would like the way it had us all wanting to be models because I've always been that's so funny, Brie, because I remember like real ones will know it used to come on every Sunday on Oxygen from like 11 a.m.
Oxygen. I
to
miss
8 p.m.
that.
And all I would eat that day was a Hot Pocket because again, I'm watching the skinniest girls in the world. I'm probably like 12 years old and I've always been like a curvy girl, okay? I've always had a little front, a little back, cute face. But I'm like short, like I'm on the shorter side. So I knew I couldn't be a model. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a plus size model. Why is a 12-year-old thinking she should be a plus size model? That
Yeah,
is
literally.
and growing up now, I'm like, I'm not, I'm still, I mean, in some ways, I would, like, in this time period, I would be considered plus size, but in the real world, I'm not plus size. I'm very much, again, mid-sized, curvy,
Yeah.
always been that way. So it's just like, yeah, it did do some irreparable damage on my brain, I'm
The girls for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, like me and everybody else. But at the same time, like, that was kind of gonna happen anyway.
If it wasn't Tyra, it would have been another show.
Exactly. It would have been somebody else. So,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I'm very excited to see this and just because I know that they have some of the models on there talking. There are a few models that I do remember their faces. I can't remember their names. I think just maybe Eva is the only one that I
Eva,
remember her
yeah.
name.
She was on
But
Real Housewives of
Atlanta, that's
Atlanta.
probably why I remember. But
Yeah.
there were a few faces that I'm like, wow, that is a face. And I remember it. There was like this one
Yeah.
girl, I don't remember her name, but she had like the cutest doll-like face. And I think she became an actress.
Yaya.
Um, who?
Yaya.
I don't know.
Because
It was this
she's in a
white
lot of
girl.
stuff. Yeah, I really only remember the girls that like did acting after. But I did watch ANTM during COVID, so I do remember
Same.
like some of them. So like Eva, Yaya, I think they were on the same season. Carrie D, because I remember
Oh,
that
I
because I
remember
watched.
Carrie D.
Yeah, Carrie
Yes.
D, because I watched that one live. Melrose was that season. Takora was obviously my favorite, like the
Loved her.
queen. Apparently, she dated Drake. Like, she needs to be a star. I don't know what. I need to follow her on Instagram because she has imprinted on me.
Jasleen.
Jasleen. Oh my gosh, Jasleen.
I'm like looking at these girls and I'm like, wait, I remember you, Diva. Fatima, she was great. Anchal, that Indian girl, she
Yeah, I
had
was
the best face card I've
the
ever seen in my
best. And
life.
I remember Tyra threaded her hairline.
This was the girl I was talking about, which this picture is not great of her, but Allison, I don't know if you could see her. She had like
Yes.
the
Oh my
cutest doll
gosh.
face. I was like, oh my gosh, I can like these girls, some of these girls really were insane. Like they deserved to be
Yeah.
super famous
Models.
models. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, it's like, like it's the good with the bad, just like everything else.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure she could go back, she would change it. But it's not like they were gonna let her revolutionize modeling and start letting all these like short, thick girls on. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
exactly.
So
What a time. I'm very excited to see that documentary, see how it
me
goes.
too.
All right, our next diva.
Oh gosh. The title of the episode, Divas Down.
Okay, so Kanye West has come out and apologized for his anti-Semitic remarks and blames his bipolar disorder in where did he put this? In the Washington Street Journal?
Yeah, in an
The
ad.
Wall Street Journal. Washington Street Journal. Let me see if I could find where it says what he said. Because I actually did read it and I was like, when I first saw that he came out with something, I was like, okay, Kanye, like I don't even whatever because there's so many times he's come out with some craziness and it's just like, okay, whatever, let's move on. But I actually do think it was really well written and it did seem to be honest about what he was going through, but also apologizing. So hang on, let me see if I can find it. Okay. Well, this is a little long. I'll read some of it. Just says that 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to the right frontal lobe of my brain. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed. So basically saying how years later it came that medical oversight and just didn't notice anything going on with his brain. But years later, he had a bipolar type 1 diagnosis. It says bipolar disorder comes with its own defense system, denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world move more clearly than ever, when in reality, you're losing your grip entirely. Once people label you as crazy, you feel as if you cannot contribute anything meaningful to the world. It's easy for people to joke and laugh it off when in fact, this is a very serious, debilitating disease that you can die from. The scariest thing about this disorder is how persuasive it is when it tells you you don't need help. It makes you blind, but convinced you have insight. You feel powerful, certain, and unstoppable. And I lost touch with reality, which I feel like that's crazy to say. Um, Things got worse the longer I ignored the problem. I said and did things I deeply regret. Some of the people I loved the most, I treated the worst. You endured fear, confusion, humiliation, and the exhaustion of trying to love someone who was at times unrecognizable. Looking back, I became detached from my true self. So, in that fractured state, I gravitated towards the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar type 1 are the disconnected moments, many of which I still cannot recall, that lead to poor judgment and reckless behavior that oftentimes feels like an out of body experience. I regret and am deeply mortified by my actions in that state and am committed to accountability, treatment, and meaningful change. It does not excuse what I did, though. I am not a Nazi or an anti Semite. I love Jewish people. And this one I thought was interesting as well, that he also addresses the Black community. He says, to the Black community, which held me down through all the highs and lows at the darkest of times, the Black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am, and I am so sorry to have let you down. In early 2025, I fell into a 4-month long manic episode of psychotic, paranoid, and impulsive behavior that destroyed my life. As the situation became increasingly unsustainable, there were times I didn't want to be here anymore. Having bipolar disorder is not a state of constant mental illness. When you go into manic episodes, you are ill at that point. When you are not in an episode, you are completely normal. And that's when the wreckage from the illness hits the hardest. So, yada, yada. He, goes on to talk a little bit more, but he ends it with saying, I'm not asking for sympathy or a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. So, wow. I feel
Yeah,
like
that
this
was
is
a
the
shock.
most real that he's been in a long time. And I think that he addressed what a lot of us kind of thought about him in a very real way. Like, I was feeling like he was not his true self anymore. He was losing touch with reality. He was
Yeah.
hurting the people around him that loved him the most. Like, seeing those text messages come out about the way he talked about Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian, and just, I mean, I feel like he lost a lot of people in his life. Like, I still mourn him and Kim. Um,
Yeah.
it's just so sad to see what he went through. And then, yeah, the stuff that he did with the swastika and selling it, and how much he hurt the Jewish community. I don't blame them for being like, I don't even want to hear this anymore. But
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting how at the end he was like, I'm not even asking for you to forgive me. I just want you to understand what I was going through, and hopefully I can find my way home. So I thought it was a well-written statement.
Mhm.
I'm still a little bit, I don't know, like
Yeah.
I'm just like I feel like he's had so many of these things, and then he goes back to being that crazy, impulsive, destructive side of him. So I'm like, I just want to wait it out and see how he handles this from now on. But I do think it was a good first step into just being like, I lost touch with reality. I'm sorry. This is why. And like, I'm going to try to fix it.
Well, he had an album scheduled to be released on Friday.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, and then I just looked and now it looks like he's potentially pushing it to March, but there is an album coming Q1 from Kanye that we're gonna get. So I think this is like, well, of course you're sorry. You
yeah,
want my
now
money, you want my
now it doesn't hit
time,
as much.
you want my attention, and like don't apologize to me, apologize to Kim, apologize to Chris, apologize to the Kardashians. I thought I would never say that. Apologize to your kids.
Seriously.
Like, yeah, you're apologizing to us, you're apologizing to the Jewish community, Black community. I said things I don't mean. I was destructive. I'm doing this, but like, I don't know, 6 months ago we saw you getting ahead in like a boat with your butt cheeks out. Like, how much work really could have been done between now and then? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have bipolar disorder. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, but it's just like, okay, well, like who wrote this? Like, did you
Yeah.
even write this? Whose idea was this? Why the Wall Street Journal? Why 2 days before you're supposed to be releasing an album?
The releasing an album totally just took me out of it. I
Yeah.
I want to the things that he did were horrible.
Yeah,
So it's hard to even forgive him even with this statement, but now knowing that, I'm like,
exactly.
dude,
Time and
it's a little
place.
frustrating. It's he, yeah, he's got to do better. He's got to be more intentional about actively trying to fix it because with an album coming out, it's like, okay, we see literally right through this. Um,
Right.
I will say though, as somebody who has lived with a ex family member who was bipolar,
Hmm.
um, I do have firsthand knowledge of living with somebody who has bipolar
Hmm.
disorder. And I will say that there were times that I literally felt like they lost touch with reality. They would be like, oh, I don't need to take my pills because I'm feeling good right now. And then 2 weeks in, like the person that you would see in 2 weeks was a completely different person than the 2 weeks before. It was the most insane thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. It was so because of that, like I could kind of understand. I'm not saying I understand people not wanting to forgive him for that because I don't even want to forgive the person that I lived with for dealing with the
Yeah.
shit that I went through. So I totally understand, but I also am saying like I understand what he is saying in the sense of like I lost touch with reality because you really do when you have that mental disorder. If you're not taking care of yourself with medication, like you will completely turn into the most like okay, I can't say everybody, but from what I experienced, they literally turn into the most destructive person
Yeah.
I've ever met in my life in the span of like a day. Like it could literally snap so fast. It's really
Yeah.
scary.
I have dealt with people in my circle with bipolar disorder, and before they knew they had bipolar disorder, and now that I understand the disorder more, I'm like, holy shit. Like, you're right. They literally, like, in the span of a few days, a few weeks, it's like you're dealing with a totally different person. And I think the best way to describe it is someone that has completely lost touch with reality. Like, they do not live on the same planet on as the rest of us. And it's really scary, and it's a lot more common than we think. And I think there's obviously a stigma attached to it because when they're in these manic episodes, they cause so much destruction and devastation to the people that love them and are closest to them. So it is just like when, they're on the other side, and whether they're taking their meds or not, or they're out of the like manic episode, it is hard to forgive them.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, well, like I still have to work through all the destruction and everything you caused for me, and you get to just like, I'm sorry, but it's like I still have to heal from what you did.
Yeah.
So
Which
it
is
is
why at the
rough.
end of it, I thought it was good that he was like, I'm not just asking for your forgiveness right away. Like, I just want to find my way back home. But now, like I said, hearing about the album release,
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, and then that attached to it. And like I said, like, why are you like, why not just come out with an album and say all that in an album? Like, you're an art, like, I get like the apology note, I totally get that, but like, why are you taking out an ad? And like, Wall Street Journal, why are you accepting money from him right now? Like, you could have gone on classic Kanye, gone on Twitter and told us all of this, gone on Instagram and told us all of this, like you normally do when you want us to hear you.
Maybe he's trying to get out of that stereotype because I feel like I associate Kanye's Twitter with these like destructive, most diabolical things I've ever read. So maybe he was trying to have more credibility, which I get. But yeah, it's going to take a lot more
Yeah.
time for him to get back into the good graces that he was in like 10 years ago. And I think hopefully he realizes that we're not just ready to be like open arms forgiving him because he did a lot of destructive stuff and he enabled a lot of disgusting, racist, horrible things. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Moving on, let's
Yeah,
talk about
moving.
someone else and the
Oh
other baby daddy
gosh.
of the
Yeah.
Kardashians.
Oh my goodness.
Travis
So,
Scott
yeah, take it
is
away.
in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Hmm.
Words that I never would have put two and two together. One of our followers here, friend, putting like, is this AI? I
Yeah.
screamed when she said that.
Yeah, it's the comments. I posted it on our story and it was the comments saying like this isn't AI. Like no, this is real. Like this is real life.
Yeah, so he made a surprise appearance in Nolan's upcoming epic adaptation. In the minute-long teaser, Scott's unnamed character appears to be holding court in a dimly lit hall and this was like Tom Holland is part of this. So I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Actually, this brings me back. I saw a TikTok recently of him. I think he was like on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that. And he was talking about how he was actually a thespian and like a theater nerd in high school. And because I someone was like bringing it up in regards to Timothy of just like, oh, Kylie loves actors.
Yeah. She loves an artiste.
He loves a thespian. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that Travis Scott was into the arts in that way. But the more
Yeah.
I think about it, because again, he's another one who, yes, he may not have been found guilty of it, but what went down in Astroworld is so unforgivable, in my opinion, that I really try to write him off most of the time. But with that being said, like taking that out of the picture, he is very creative. He is very artistic. So I'm sure that side of him maybe wants to come out in other ways, like not just
Hmm.
music. So, I mean, I think it's cool in that sense for him, but also it's just like, what?
It is a little shocking. They knew to include that in the first trailer. Christopher Nolan wanted to make buzz for sure. Um, You know what? As someone who probably with my listening time bought Stormy a Birkin in I think like 2019, 2020. This was pre the like destructive Astro World. I was in the top 0.05 of listeners of Travis Scott. Astro World was my like top to bottom and still to this day I have no shame saying that is one of the best albums of all time. I think Travis Scott is one of the greatest artists of all time. Maybe not greatest rappers, but when it comes to like creativity, his production value, I'm sorry, like nobody is seeing him. I think to this day, like no one's seen him. I think he's only maybe this is my one of my hottest takes, but like production wise, the only person people really seen Travis Scott, I think, are like the Pharrells, the Timbalands, the Missy Elliott's. Like when I tell you that boy, he doesn't even have to be on the track, and you listen to it, and you are actually taken to another planet. And that goes for like all his albums since the beginning. So it saddened me to see him lose his girl, lose his credibility, like have people lose their lives on his hand. Like it's all just like really sad because obviously he didn't mean to, but that doesn't excuse what happened. So I do think this is him trying to take a new turn of like, no, I want to be a serious actor as well. I want to be seen as an actor of sorts. And like, why not? With your first like movie acting credit being the fucking Odyssey with Matt Damon and Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway and Zendaya by Christopher Nolan. You know what?
It's kind of iconic.
I'm not mad at it. Like I look and I believe he was a thespian. His real name, y'all, is Jacques Webster.
No, like
He
he
grew
really
up
did something.
Yeah, he grew up in like the suburbs of Houston. Like he's not one of these rappers that is like, "Oh, I got it out of the mud, like I got it out of the gutter." No, he is like an art like he
I
was
think that's why
well
his
off.
shows are so crazy too, because it's always
Yes.
those kids who like live in the
Yes.
suburbs and act like they grew up in the hood or whatever, who want to be
Yeah.
taken, be seen
Yeah.
a certain way. And I feel like that's why these his concerts are so nuts because it's like he wants to act like
Yeah.
someone he's
He's
not.
actually a nerd. He's like a music nerd. He's a thespian. Like those are not the cool kids in school.
He has such an ear for music. Like him signing Don Toliver. Like
Yeah.
Don Toliver is probably one of the only other people I feel like competing with him right now.
Yes, actually, no, you're exactly right. Don Toliver, Cash Cobain, the list goes on and on, but they're all connected. They're all a part of. And you know who signed Travis first? Kanye.
It all comes back to the Kardashians.
He, like, sorry, does he have the best public perception? And this goes for both of them. No. Are they wickedly talented? Yes.
No, the three of those people have literally been in my Spotify top 5 for years. Travis,
Yeah.
Kanye, and Don Toliver. And like
Yeah.
I can't even tell people because the way that Kanye and Travis Scott are perceived nowadays, but I'm sorry, they make good music.
Yeah, fantastic music. And if he wants to take his turn at acting, I fully support it. He's not a nepo baby, so like he really got to where he was because he is very talented. So you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I kind of want to read the Odyssey before I see the movie, but that's like a really dense, thick read. Like I have to check if I can get through Wuthering Heights. Like,
Yeah, because that's why we're reading Wuthering Heights because we want to see the movie. And honestly, the more and more I read it, the more angry I'm low key getting at the casting, at the whole production of it, because
mm,
I don't know how many times they have to. It's literally like on the first page of the book that says Heathcliff is a dark-skinned gypsy. So Jacob Elordi, huh? And it doesn't, they don't specifically say, well, actually, no, there's a few times they say black in there. But he's supposed to be like racially ambiguous, but it's very obvious that he is of darker skin toned, and that's why he gets treated so badly. That's why, because it's like he's going through all of this abuse in the house, and it's like, why do they hate this boy so much? If you're imagining him as Jacob Elordi, like, what did he do? Why does Catherine, the main girl, Margot Robbie, why does she pick somebody else to be with over him? Like, it doesn't make any sense until you put in the context of race. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this adaptation? I mean, I'm still gonna see it.
yeah, of course. But that's strange. I didn't know that. I don't know what the book's about.
It's basically just like they don't
Forbidden love.
kind of, yeah. Like she ends up this is like not a well, I guess it's a spoiler, but it's not really that much of a spoiler. Like she ends up picking somebody else to marry, even though like the love of her life is Heathcliff, and she picks the other person because she wants to look like good to the socialites. It's like this, white people with blonde hair and blue eyes, and they're really well regarded, and that's who she decides to marry over Heathcliff. And
Oh my God.
it's like, why else would she choose? I don't know. The fact that they made it Jacob Elordi, I mean, hot. So whatever.
Yeah,
Like, I'm glad we get to look at that. But it's just in the context of the book, it's so confusing.
that's really strange. Like, not y'all trying to make brunettes a marginalized community.
No, literally. And then on top of that, they're supposed to be teenagers in the book, like 15, 16, which
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
I think it honestly makes a big difference because while I'm reading this book, like the two of them are literally insane in ways that only teenagers would be. Like Kathy's literally like, if I can't be with Heathcliff, I'll just die. Just kill me. And it's like only a 16-year-old is saying that, you know?
Oh my goodness.
But
That's
anyways.
um yeah, when I'm seeing pictures of them together, I'm like, even though they're probably like 8 years apart, I'm like, that's literally mother and son. Like
It
I
doesn't
don't
feel, I'm not getting the chemistry that everybody is saying that they're
Mhm.
feeling with
It's
it.
no, it's giving big, literally big sis little bro. And I don't
Yeah.
like it.
And yeah, the book is pretty dark. There's like the two of them are real pieces of work, like abusive pieces of shit. So
Yeah.
I'm just very interested to see how they're gonna make this the greatest love story of all time, as they say.
Oh
Also,
my
wait, last thing about Wuthering Heights is, do you know that this meme going around that it's like, I think I'm gonna die in this house. That's part of the Wuthering Heights soundtrack by Charlie XCX. So I'm like, oh, maybe it will be a dark movie.
that sound, but because it's already been clipped on TikTok as the most unserious thing, like I'm
Yeah.
actually kind of pissed that that's where that's from because
As
it
Tom Sandoval in the Trader's House.
yeah, like it's so unserious that now I'm like this movie is gonna the rollout and the press for this movie is gonna give The End of Us and like the as far as like oh like the drama. I just feel like it's not gonna hit like they think it's gonna hit. Like the amount of production and hoopla they're putting into this movie, it's not gonna. I think box office wise dollars, but like public perception, I don't think this is great for either one of their careers. That's just my 2026 prediction.
The director is also the one who directed Saltburn, which I just found out. And now I'm like, oh, this movie's gonna be weird as fuck.
Yeah. Oh God.
Okay, anyways, Mormon Wives season 4 is coming out soon, and Love is Blind Ohio season whatever is coming out soon. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that when it airs, but excited for those, I guess.
Yeah, a little disappointed in the Love is Blind state choice. Like, did we not learn anything from
Minnesota.
Minnesota? Like, I don't want to shit on them while they're down right now, but
I know.
like that was the worst season of Love is Blind ever. Like, did we not learn anything? Like, we need to stick to the coast.
Sorry for any Ohio listeners, but
Yeah, like
we'll see
so
how it
for
goes.
yeah, like I and it yeah, we'll see. Of course I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see, but like it better be diverse, it better be insane. Um yeah, like it better be typical Love is Blind hoopla drama. Like it better not be like I can't tell these people apart.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that, and I love the Mormon girls. Can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
And I know that this is they filmed during Dancing with the Stars stuff, so I just want to see all the Whitney Jen drama. And then
Yes.
also I think they filmed during Taylor doing The Bachelorette, I think.
Oh.
I don't know how they did that, but yeah, I'm excited to see that as well. See the behind the scenes.
And as our final active honor, mostly active duty. The Real Housewives season what? Real Housewives of Potomac season 10 finale aired this week. Had no idea what's the finale. That's how unclimactic the season has been. I thought we had at least like 5 more episodes to wrap this up, give me something. Yeah, probably the worst episode of Potomac ever. Not because of the ladies, just because this is not why we watch Housewives. They did not. The assignment was not understood so badly that it kind of made it a good episode.
I was gonna say I actually ended up enjoying it just because they were so miserable. I was like, this is insane. So yeah, we'll just talk about it quickly because again, like the fact that this is a finale is crazy. Angel, we were rooting for you. Not like that much, but I've been trying to give her just an ounce of grace, an ounce. And I don't even have an ounce to give you anymore. I don't have a
Mhm.
drop of grace to give you anymore. Like the, that was so diabolical that the countdown timer of the 5 hours till they have to get to the airport. First of all, when we're leaving that day of a trip, I will not be doing anything that day besides going to brunch and then getting to the airport. Like, why are we
Literally.
going fly fishing? She doesn't know how to host anything. They go fly fishing the day that they're supposed to leave Colorado. She picks a fly fishing site 2 hours away from them and also 2 hours away from the airport. So by the time they get there, they would only have 30 minutes to enjoy the fly fishing. And that's if
And
they all
eat.
got there right on time, fished and ate. And this guy's making like a 5 course feast with steaks and shit. There's just no way, even if they got there on time, that this would have happened. What was Angel fucking thinking?
And like to add insult to injury, she owns like a trip planning business. That's why it's so like, ugh, Angel, this show was not a good idea for you right now, boo boo. Because I
No.
saw that people were leaving negative Google reviews on her business, leaving 1-star reviews, and she's fighting back with them on the Wonderland account to the point where she had to just close her business on Google to get people to stop leaving poor reviews for her. So it's just so bad.
I don't agree with that.
Of
Like,
course, that's awful. Like people like
yeah,
let's get a grip.
we're
Like
watching a TV show.
yeah, we're watching
That's
a
what
TV
Twitter and
show.
Threads is for.
And it's just like her businesses already has bad perception enough. This show,
Yeah.
none of us probably knew what it was outside of the people that actually like live in Colorado. Now everything is Wonderland excursions.
The
And
voice.
so like that's a Colorado. Oh my gosh, she kills me and I don't want to make fun of her. I like Bree said, we were really rooting for you and you just actually made it impossible. Like you it was diabolical. I literally have to sit up. It was diabolical when at the beginning of the episode, we're like, okay, we're getting a hotel. We're going to the Four Seasons. We're going to shower. Are you spending the night? Yes. You knew, Angel, Tia, and Kay, that before you got in that car and drove another hour back to Angel's house to get her stuff, you were not driving back to the
Yeah.
hotel. That was strike number one. I was like, okay, you did this whole thing and you didn't even actually spend the night. Like, what is the
I
point?
understand Giselle at this point because,
Yes.
bitch, I just paid for 3 rooms for you guys because you said you're staying here and then you drove back and I have to text you to find out, like, why am I hearing rooms are empty? And she just responds back so casual, yeah, we stayed at the house. We'll see you at the fly fishing site. I would have, I'm surprised they even went to try
I
to attempt the
know.
fly fishing site. I thought Giselle would have been like, we're wrapping it up right here. We're
Yeah.
done.
Cut the cameras,
Yeah,
dead
no,
ass.
literally cut the camera.
Because that was like strike number one. And then it was another strike that this event we had to go. No, and then the day before you're like, oh, here's something you guys don't know about me. I hate fish. Bitch, why are you taking us fly fishing
That would
then?
have set me off, Becky. I would like, what do you mean you don't like fishing and you're taking us fly fishing 2 hours away? She could have at least picked a place on the way to the airport. The fact that it's 2 hours from the hotel and then also another 2 hours to the airport, and we have 5 hours to get things done. And that's just 5 hours until the flight departs. They have to
Yes.
get to the airport before the flight departs.
And then you drive the wrong direction. The girls are in their car on their way. They're fighting with each other. Me and my mom were like, they're literally fighting because they've been in the car for 3 hours out there. The altitude is 50,000. You can't breathe. You're literally losing brain cells from lack of oxygen. I'm car sick because I've been in the car for 3 hours and then you want me to go stand outside and fish. Like, of course I'm arguing about nothing at this point. Like, I have nothing. Like, I'm literally losing my mind. And
literally.
then you're driving in the complete wrong direction. Production's already there, so they just let you drive the wrong direction for as long as it took until you figured out. The traffic keeps on adding on. So what was an hour and a half drive has now turned into a 3 hour drive, and it's still an hour drive to the airport.
No, we're not doing this. That was so insane of her to even think that this would work out. If everything went to plan, it still wouldn't have worked out. Literally, what was she thinking?
And Bree, strike four is that she did not tell them until they called. That would have set, that is my biggest pet peeve with people is like not being proactive to things
Yeah.
that were already in planned. If you're running late, that is totally fine. We've all ran late before. Let me know why an hour before. I'm running an hour late for something that you planned. And I call you to see where you are and you're now you're telling me you're going to be 2 hours late. I'm going home. Get me on the fucking plane. I'm
Get me
pissed.
out of here. I
I think I'm going to die in this house, literally.
I think I'm gonna die in this car.
Yeah,
They were in
like
the car the entire 3 episodes of Colorado. I don't know how they
yes.
did it. And then we have this Stacy, Jazzy, Wendy fight at the end, which I don't even feel like we really needed to get into that
Yeah,
much
no,
because
it's
Jazzy just
pointless.
wants fucking airtime. But I'm not
But
gonna lie,
Stacy
when
started it.
yeah, Stacey did start it, but Wendy did piss me off a little bit because it's like, even if you were trying to tell your friend, hey, you're in the wrong on this, you can say it in a different way. Her cursing at Stacey and being so like, ta 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 ta, like, I feel like she literally thought, oh, this is the finale. Let me just get in my last moment because there was no reason for her to treat Stacey like that if that's actually your girl.
Yeah, I thought the same. That's why I'm like, I think they were just arguing because they seriously, their bodies were in survival mode. It was like cabin fever almost. Like if you've ever sat in a car, I'm officially at the age where I cannot sit in the back of the car for more than 20 minutes and I start like open the windows. Let me out. So the fact
Get
that
me
they were
out.
doing that, and as someone that has been to Aspen and had a amazing time, that air will fuck you up. Like
Yeah.
seriously. And there's probably edibles, they're probably drinking. Like it is just okay, we haven't ate. I haven't showered properly. I had
13?
my first proper shower last night and I've been here for 3 days.
No.
Been in the car for 20 hours.
That would have set me off so bad. Like the fact that Stacy was literally saying, like, I just can't wait to get to the Four Seasons just for bath gel, just for water pressure. It's like, do you know
Shower
how
gel.
bad a trip has to be that all you're looking forward to is to shower? And at the end of the day, just to wrap it up, even if everything went to plan, it was still not a good girls trip because
No,
Angel didn't try at all to be with the
no.
girls. Like every time she's leaving to go back to her house, she's separating the girls. It's just there's no like community, there's no flow. It's not a girls trip. It was not fun. I was like miserable watching them. I mean, it did get to a point where I was laughing, but I was like I literally cannot imagine them.
Mm-mm. I'd be so irritated and aggravated. And yeah, I think this season is, or next season, they're gonna have to do something different with casting around planning because Potomac, unfortunately, y'all are the brokest franchise. And I hate to call my black aunties that, but like it is not giving. I just saw that clip for Rhode Island. One girl, it was giving rich. I don't care where she got that money. She could have stole it for all I know. I don't even care. Then you got Beverly Hills is having the worst season they've ever had in history. They used to be on top. Literally, Married to Medicine is pulling better numbers than them. And that's like no shade to Married to Medicine. That's just like, it's not even a housewife franchise
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
doing what was number one. And you got Kyle with the six cars in the driveway trying to find the key. Like that's what I want to see. And those are just the outside of the garage cars.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that even them talking about what they got at Kemosabe, like, oh, I spent 200 on this. I spent 800 on this. I'm like, you guys look so tacky and so broke. Because in Beverly Hills, they wouldn't even bring up if it was worth $200. They would be like, oh, that's cheap. Like they're not talking about anything unless it's a few bands.
Yeah, they don't even talk about the prices on Beverly Hills because production does that for them.
Hmm.
And I knew I was dealing with another level of wealth when I think it was Erica had like the Cartier. I didn't even know what it was, but like now I do. The Cartier Panther ring that was $90,000.
And she didn't even bring up the price.
She
They
didn't.
threw the label on there after editing.
Exactly. Meanwhile, do I think production made them go in a circle and say the prices? Yes, but that's still like who is setting them up? It's just so bad. We need Karen back. We need rich people back.
We need Karen back so badly. When I was watching it last night with my husband, he was even saying, he was like, I get why they're mad at this girl, Angel, but this is so mean. Like they are such
Yeah.
mean girls. This is kind of like it's making me uncomfortable to watch. And then afterwards,
Mhm.
they showed the Karen part of it, and he was like, "Oh, that's who we've been missing." I was like, "No, literally, like we need Karen is the best mean funny. She can, but
Yes.
it's still like lighthearted. Giselle is just so mean sometimes. She's so
Yeah.
mean spirited that it's like I get it. I get why you're mad at Angel, but we are still making a TV show about a group of women who are supposed to be friends. And this is like bullying. This is
Yeah.
hating.
Yeah, it's twofold. Angel, you fucked up totally, but Giselle, you're just mean because you're not. That's the thing. You're not funny. Like, was Candace mean AF? Yes, but she was funny.
I gave her a
Mean.
beverage.
Yeah, like that's funny. Nene read you to filth. Funny.
Yep.
Karen is also funny. Giselle isn't funny unless she's being mean to someone. And it's just
Yeah,
like that's not fun to, that can't be our main character.
exactly. And that's also why Beverly Hills is going down because love her, hate her, LVP was mean but funny as fuck.
Yeah, even Lisa Rinna, like,
Yeah,
come
same.
on, like mean, absolutely diabolical, but it was entertainment. It was funny. It was she's kooky. Like it's wackadoodle time. Like there's no
Whack a doodle time.
wackadoodle time on Potomac anymore, and you're broke.
Wrap it up. Cut the cameras, dead ass. We're
Yeah.
done.
So on that note, we will be tuning in to the current sit down. We will be tuning in to the reunion and seeing how that goes. Noting that Jazzy was not even sat at the reunion. So yeah, bye, sister. Like you're done.
The ending updates with Kay's thing saying how there's still no jewelry in her house besides the bedazzled photo frame. Like, I can't. I want better for these girls, but they got to do better for themselves.
Ain't that a word? So yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of Gossip Brig. We hope it was the cherry on top of your day, just like it was ours. We, of course, appreciate you supporting our independent podcast. Make sure you're following us on Instagram the most these days. We're at Gossip Break Pod. We post reels, we post stories, we post memes. We're super funny on threads. We post some real time stuff if we're watching it. So just show us some love over there. We'd love to get to know our listeners and our fellow gossip breakers a little bit more. And of course, leave us a 5-star review if you made it this far and share it with your best yapper.
Have a great week, girls.
Stay warm. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.